Welcome everybody here to our last game of the day. It is the defense tournament powered by Own3TV and supported by Razer. That's right, together they actually make a tripod. I'm not quite sure if the EP is a balance, but we're here for the last game. Problem versus global domination time. Problem being Melk's new team, but funnily enough, Melk is not playing today. Nice, man. Support your new team. We have two tryout players for their team playing in this match, going up against Global Domination Time. The guys from America, they had their tryouts in their last game during their group stage, and now they will find themselves here in the match to see if they can actually perform and keep it up for Own3TV. I mean for Own3TV, for GDT. Here it starts with, it has a T at the end, with a V, possibly some other things.
5 seconds remaining.
As you can hear, 5 seconds are remaining because we're going to jump ourselves into the game. That's the last ban for the Radiant sides of GDT, removing out Prophet as well as Omni-Knight. Nice Stalker being the last ban out from the Dire. So Mania is the guy who is leading the way for the Dire. He's supported by Pusher and Lacoste. They are the three players on the main roster for Problem. And they will be supported by Notahax as well as VVV. Or V4 Vendetta, V3, I don't know. VVV. We're going to call him V for short, just because I'm a lazy bastard. Anti-Mage being the first pick up here for GDT. Now, last game GDT played in their group stage. I'm actually bringing up their result on my side right now, because GDT lost their first game. It was, well, they're going to be a little bit pissed off that I'm going to mention that. But they lost the Wild Hunting Badgers, and that was they had a good anti-mage. But the biggest problem was he never got any farm, he got really shut down, and kept getting ganked all the time. So that's something which we're going to see if GDT can repair this time around. We also did have the weird kind of thing where we had like Taku playing, like he was playing Initiating Puck, I think was that game. Unless I'm getting my brains crossed with wires of kind of things. This is now our 11th hour. I'm not meaning that as like a death kind of like walking thing. But I've been casting for 11 hours straight today. It's been fun. If you missed any of the VODs, I'm uploading them all tonight, so the work doesn't stop here. We get to go home and upload all the VODs. It'll give you content during my trip to DreamHack, all right? You'll have something to watch. You can work through them bit by bit. But yeah, GDT need to protect that anti-mage if they want to become the all-powerful machine he can be. Windrunner has been the pick. We did also see a bit of a counter pick to him, which was when Puckner actually came in. So decrypified the targets he wanted to attack, decrypified the anti-mage himself so he couldn't attack, and then just blasted him through another ward, and there was no movement around the map after that point actually happened. So, but he plays Dota 1. Yeah, thanks very much for Dax. And Malk actually does play Dota 2. I see him on servers playing Dota 2. He's just playing under alias. He is there. He is actually playing. He's just not playing this evening for some reason. Considering this is his first time his team has ever been shown to the world, well, I'd have actually expected him to be in the neighborhood. But not. It's just a fun team for him. So, Problem, they have their first game. They're, of course, in the group of death. They're in there with Wild Honey Badgers, SK Gaming, Roots, who is the Old Micro, Global Donation Time, Problem, as well as Meet Your Makers. Meet Your Makers, GDT, as well as Roots are all sitting on one loss right now, so this is a must-win game for GDT. If they lose this, then they go 0-2, and let's just say nobody wants to be 0-2 in a group stage where only 3 teams advance out of 6. You're going to find yourself in a bit of a hard time. You have to win all other matches if you want to have a chance to actually go through, and they've still got a lot of big games coming up. They've got to face SK Gaming, they've got to face Val Micro, and they've got to face the Meet Your Makers from SG.
10 seconds remaining.
So 10 seconds remaining for the normal time for the Radiant.
5 seconds.
I see Tide and Windrunner being picked up. So at this point, they're just going to have themselves a bit of a fun time, trying to pick up some support heroes, hopefully, as well as their side solo. So one support, one side would actually do them pretty nicely. Dire already have a great side solo through the Windrunner, and then we also have the Tide Hunter, who is a great teamfight controller hero. So Radiant might look for something similar. So we're going to look for teamfight control, look towards the lines of Earthshaker, or other heroes who can actually get those decent stuns out. But the choice is theirs if they actually want to try and go a little bit more carry. And it was actually, I think, the problem with GDT last time. They showed their big carry straight away. And that was Yes, Malk is in Problem. I'm reading the guys in the IRC chat. That's why I stopped talking for a second. My brain ain't multitasking anymore. Oh my god. Crystal Maiden comes up. So that is going to be their second pick. One last pick up from the Radiant. They have 2. They can have 2. I'm generous. I'll give them 2. I also just realized what's been staring at me the entire day is the picture of Link from the Ghost of Gamers page. He's just sitting there on the side. Wow, you disturbed me, man. I'm just gonna like drag that window over. I'm no longer disturbed. All right, so one more pick for Radiant. They've got the support hero. Who's going to be their sideline solo? More than likely, I'll be looking at Puck at this point. Puck will be great to try and avoid, well, both of the stuns which will be coming out from the Dire. And they're actually going to go Mirana instead, so Mirana will be their sideline solo. It works as well, and looks like Manny's got himself a bit of a pocket strat, instantly going Chen. Already knows what he wants to be able to push hard. Chen will allow him to do so, which means they will have a hero who wants to have the early farm, will not want to sit back. So let's see who they will pick out from that. I'm looking at Weaver. Possible Weaver, possible Dro. We have seen Enigma pushing before as well. In the last game, Dro Ranger does a fair amount of damage, especially once she pops level 6. Gets the extra 15, and if you can farm for Yashi by that time, you can bring down a tier 1 tower pretty fast. As in comparison to a lot of heroes who are like attack a lot slower and all that kind of jazz. So, as your hero, it's not a bad one, and I would actually love the Dro Ranger pick up in this. That way they can go, okay, well, Anti-Mage is in here, Mirana's in here, and Crystal Maiden. Get a silence on all of those. There's no Blink, there's no Leap, there's no Frostbite, there's no Nova, there's none of this stuff. They can't use any of their abilities. If anything, they want to grab a Silencer, but he's not actually added into the world of Dota 2 yet. Give it time, give it time. He'll be here. So our ban so far, so we're going to go into our next stage. So, well, there goes our teamfight controllers. The Dire must have been listening to me. They have removed out the Earthshaker. Realizing at this point they control the team fights. The Radiant don't really do that. They're more single focused kind of, I get the farm, I can deal off the damage, I can outlast you, my team fight heroes will come a little bit later. So they take out Bat Rider as well as the Ancient Apparition. Broodmother and ES then taken out. So Broodmother don't have to deal with a counter pusher. They also don't want to pick her up themselves. They don't have the first pick, so it's easy enough to ban out the Broodmother. And of course, Ancient Apparition being taken out as well. Hey, one of those heroes, he could do everything, man. He could do absolutely everything. 2 more picks for the Radiant. They do not have a lot of time for this. They add into a lot of extra time trying to think about who their last 2 picks would be for the first stage of picking. So they're CM, by the time they got that, I think it was like 40 seconds left, and now Mirana's only 4 seconds of extra time. They need to pick one hero. Shadow Shaman's going to be it. So fearing the push, hopefully they get the coordination that we saw from Eben the other night. Eben, I've got to say, I was massively impressed by their playstyle. Not only just because of the way they use their jungle, but the way the Shadow Shaman roamed from lane to lane. The timing was right for the wards to go out. It's almost like he made that plan, like the check of the woods going down. It was beautiful. It was poetry in motion. Hopefully we'll see the same kind of thing from GDT. Mania instantly picking up Puck, not wasting any time for that. He did, however, waste time before. Then he only has 9 seconds of extra bonus time. On the bright side for you guys, the last picks will go through very, 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 very fast. So I'm actually asking for Tinker. Not actually a bad choice for Radiant. I would support Tinker, except they only need a support hero. Unless they play Shadow Shaman as that. Shadow Shaman these days is kind of like running solo mid. And Dark Seer is going to be their last pickup. Interesting choice. And you can help it for the AM ulti, you can help it for Starfall. Apart from that, it's just a counter pusher. If you want to look at it that way. And how are they going to run these lanes? At this point, does Darkseer go up on the top, be an absolute pain in the ass, and leave Anti-Mage, CM, as well as Shadow Shaman on the bottom with Mirana solo mid, or we put Mirana top, Darkseer gets to go solo mid, or the Dire will be thinking about this a little bit longer, going, hang on, Darkseer, how the hell is he going to fit into these lanes? How they want to run. A lot of it's going to come down to how they play Shadow Shaman, if they play him as a support, if they play him as a carry, who wants to go their side solo. We're going to see something unorthodox. Queen of Pain coming up. The lady with the large blue breasts as well as the big, big forehead. Well, technically they're horns. But yes, she'll be up as the 5th and final pick for the Dire. That'll be their mid solo or side solo. The choice can be theirs. Puck can do either. Queen of Pain can do either. Queen of Pain was always that great picker about a year and a half ago because it was, hey, we need a side solo hero. Who's the best one? Queen of Pain. She can blink in, get those last hits with a scream. She's great for escape mechanisms too, with that blink, obviously, again. And then all these abilities, Viper Strike, if she wants to be aggressive. Then the ultimate, big blast over the team. So it's going to be massively important for the Radiant to get that Pipe of Insight up very, very fast. But the question, who's going to get it? Darkseer would be a logical choice right now. So what is this? Someone's going to call Darcia jungle, Mirana top, Rasta mid, CM and AM bot. That is going to be the call from QQuat. So we'll see if that's correct. You guys on. There's a quick pause. So let's see who's playing who. So Mania will be playing as our Puck, not a Hacks, our trial boy for problem, question mark. Well, I didn't say problem 3 times. Problem, question mark, will be on the Tidehunter. Windrunner will be the VVV, our other trial boy. Pusher Street playing his ever so classic Chen. And Lacoste will be playing the hard carry of Queen of Pain. Can we remake AP? Can we remake AP? What for? Give us a good reason and yes. They're asking for a remake but without asking for the reason. I do not know what this is, unless Remy has actually now arrived, because he's currently not in the lineup. So I don't know why. Everyone is leaving, everyone's disconnecting, so I guess we have ourselves a remake. I don't know why. GDT just asked for it. So okay, that Toby solo mid is not actually a way of like playing. Now that we're back in here, we can actually type in, what is the reason? I know my camera's blocking the chat. You guys don't like it when I do that, so I'm just gonna like, bleh. Alright, so it is a player switch. So I'm not surprised. So probably more than likely Remy coming into play. He is generally their other big player as far as heroes we want to throw farm onto. Just a reminder too, if you are spiking, lower the quality, try the different server settings. As I've said multiple times during the last couple of days, that well, it's just like YouTube. If you currently tune into a 240p server, you'll notice it'll take a long time to load, but then your 340p will load a lot faster, or your 720p. They all run off different servers. They all have different codecs. There's different things you connect into. So just see if you can just change around a couple of the settings and the different quality settings on the stream. And you can find yourself with basically a lag-free stream. Because I can tell you right now, the stream is lag-free. There's no lag on my side. I can see it perfectly. And I'm running on a really, really crappy internet connection on the side. And for some reason, I just got kicked. Well done. Thank you very much. That revealed the password to everybody. Great. Let's see if anybody joins. Hopefully not. So one more player for GDT needs to connect. Hopefully it won't take too long for him to actually do so. I cannot go all lanes and woods. What are you on about? You guys are killing me. I've been casting here for 11 hours now, and we haven't even started this game. The stream has been live for 11 hours straight. I'm glad I have energy drinks. They come in the shape of beer bottles. That's just really disturbing as well. I should remove this. Pusher just asked me a question. There we go. So what Pusher would like me to call Melg is a pushy douchebag dodger. So yeah, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. I'm not. I'll just say I'm not saying that on live, but that I just did. So yeah, great. All right, so GDT are ready. We can actually start this game up, which means I'm gonna make this go ba-doop, and oh look, I'm back again. So let's find our server, log on in, and let's just do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. I have a dream that one day Dota 2 will launch. Everyone will connect and GDT will stop subbing players. Alright, so We went through the dial on it before of who's playing who. We'll do a quick recap once we have Way Too Sexy launch in. So there we go. Someone is drawing a cat on the mini-map. Thanks very much. Very artistic. So all pick mode. Obviously, there's no captain's mode because captain's mode is what happens when we want to try and do the captain's draft. So many voices!
Of pain.
I just love how Queen of Pain is like Queen of Pain. Last one. So the cost I carry pusher, Chen, Mania, Park, not Axe, Tide, V. There's extra V. Playing as Windrunner. Sneakying will be playing Shadow Shaman. Looks like he'll be heading in towards the middle lane for the solo. Mario, it's me. I see him. We'll be heading down towards the bottom lane. We'll be joined by possibly Yellow. He is... What the hell is he going? Thank you very much for Lacoste. That money was paid out. Yellow's going to head down towards the bottom lane, but he's given some consumables to somebody else. Who's he giving it to? Taku's running up on the top of 2 slippers. That's normal for him. What do we got for Anti-Mage? Quelling Blade, that's normal for him. 2 sets of wards, that's normal for CM. He can't spend all his money. That is not all your money. And he seems to have done it anyway. Alright. That's 350. No, that's not all his money. Courier. Courier is it. I knew there's something else. So he bought the courier instead. Somebody had to spend the money for that. It just didn't add up. There was a missing 200 gold from that line.
The battle begins.
Sentry ward's being dropped just to ensure there's no counter warding.
Double damage.
And there is not, in fact. Well, there is 1 ward from Tidehunter down here. So just ensuring that they're not going to have an issue with Darks here. Darks here realizes the tri-lane's on the bottom lane. It's like, hang on, I don't really want to be part of this, so I'll go to the easier creep camp, which is about here. Oh, in fact, it's exactly there. So bottom lane will be Anti-Mage and Crystal Maiden. Middle lane, Darkseer is actually roaming across it. And, yeah, Lacoste versus Shadow Shaman in the mid. Not really surprising, Queen of Pain is there. And Mania versus Taku on the top lane.
Nice try.
Taku's already taken a little bit of damage. Considering he has the DD rune, that should have been the other way around. But, looks to not be the case. And Darkseer looks like he'll farm up the neutrals of the Dire instead. With Chen on the bottom lane, he kind of thinks, you know what, there's no point in me hanging around my neutrals. And even now Pusher is on the hunt for him. And so it's a good choice in the end by Yellow. The only downside for him, though, is he is deep into enemy territory. So if this doesn't work out for him and Chen decides to rotate back, he needs to know about it the second it happens. CM looking for a pull, but with that 1 ward from the Dire, they'll be unable to do so. There's no counter ward, so Mario can drop 1 down here and remove that ward. But that requires him using his last sentry. And probably won't want to do that anytime soon. In the meantime, let's check out how our middle lane battle's been heading. So the cost at 3 for 3 already high on those denies. And then again, so is Shadow Shaman. He's actually beating Lacoste on those denies. Not on last hits though, so 2 to 4 instead of the 3 for 3. It's a bit of a trade-off. And then Puck versus Taku. Taku at 2 for 5 and Mania 4 for 6. So Mania just getting the upper hand as well. It's not much. And you also got to remember Yellow will be farming inside those neutrals, but Yellow I think he's only got 3. Yeah, 3 for nil. He's just farmed up that easy creep camp. And now Mario's going to get caught out if he's not careful. Push is just harassing. The Centaur is now running in as well. That Centaur gets a stomp. Push is trying to block with his own body. Unable to actually do so. And Mario gets himself away. Anti-Mage hanging in the neighborhood. There's no TP support. They're still going. They won't get close enough. Where was that stomp from the Centaur? They won't. They'll turn around, then harass on the Anti-Mage, who then blinks away. Did get Gush before that happened. But Mario will be fine. No consumables. Probably the half of the reason they want to send him back. Munching on a Tango. Because he's done so, he should not fall back now. You don't want to use your consumables. I was thinking he actually might have a salve, but there's no salve. So having to do it the old-fashioned way. Going to use up all of his Tango charges. Now drop down another ward. Invis rune on the bottom. You hear the Puck all flying out on top. Taku's taking a lot of damage already. And now Darkseer is in here. This is the reason why Taku was wanting to take some damage. Mania needs to all. Phase shifts out from the Starfall. Gets a close range arrow. And will be the first blood. It's nice play there by GDT, catching him out. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane,
Yep, you're dead.
CM is dead. With the confirmation of Windrunner saying so. Titanhunter coming towards the bottom. Just gushing the anti-mage back again. Does not want him part of this fight. Make a little bit of space between him and Windrunner. Windrunner gets extra levels. They can push down this tower pretty easily then. I'm talking about focus fire, man. Should be leveled. Leveled with the Chen push. Chen, in the meantime, just rotating around the creep camps. Doesn't want to go too far out. Wants to ensure that he controls these neutrals and not Darkseer. But again, Darkseer is hanging around on top lane, trying to farm up enough to get towards that ring of health. At which point he can just stay inside those dire neutrals and not really fear anything. The biggest problem for him is he doesn't know. He does not know where Chen is. Chen could be anywhere on the map. Now that Chen's now revealing himself next to that ward, he's obviously a little bit more revealed on the map. So one of his Wilkins down, regen rune. Titanhunter thinking about it, but it's going to be Lacoste to bottle it up. Windrunner in the meantime has found out Mario. Puts a power shot straight through her rear. Or maybe the cape. The rear was probably a little bit tighter, so brought in. Windrunner's done a decent amount of damage to that anti-mage. Still hasn't got to that ring of health. 4 minutes in, someone's been slightly shut down that farm. And you can see it right there, 7 for 1 on the anti-mage. That is really low, especially against a Windrunner who is 19 for 7. Shackle shot on Mario. 1 hit, 2 hit, power shot. Shackle shot didn't last long enough for him. Just a little off with the timing. Titan Chen, however, they'll be running through the rear. And they'll find Mario. Gush will start it off. VVV. Doesn't get the last hits. In fact, it's going to be the Titanhunter anchor. That was an anchor smash. That was just a normal hit. And they had enough to do it. Here and Puck's orb going off again. Like Mania falling back a little bit further to that tier 1 tower. 500. Maybe seeing a ring come up sometime soon. Mirana's looking very, very nice for the farm. So Taku's going to be the big players. One small thing which I want to see if GDT do a little bit differently. Taku stayed in that bottom lane. In the last game they played as the Radiant side. I'm talking about the last game in the defense. They played as the Radiant side, and he basically just stayed down here. He never really moved out until about 15, 20 minutes in, and by that point his team had already lost. So I'm just interested to see how long Taku will stay here. And this combination with yellow will work. Good phase shift there by Mania. It's avoiding the effect of the Starfall. Level 3-1-2, so that will hurt. And yellow puts the cone on himself. He'll now go down and use that for farm. Has that ring of health as well as the stout. So more than enough, almost completed up that Vanguard. Counter warding now for way too sexy. Wants to get rid of this vision on the side, make Windrunner sweat it out a little bit more. Doesn't want Chen to feel like he controls the world. It's going to be a good pull. But a little bit more space for that anti-mage, who does now get Gush. Are they going to dive this? Chen wants to, Pusher wants to. Won't be able to in the meantime. Mirana dying on the top lane.
Not rise in my presence.
So Mania gets the kill all by himself. That was when you have a level 6 Puck. Yeah, he popped off his ultimate. The dive now behind the tier 1 tower on bot. And Windrunner has found Mario, just trying to deal up a little bit of damage. Frost as well. Lacoste blinks and screams. They get it. So Mario goes down. Nowhere really for the Crystal Maiden to hide down there. And way too sexy with that pull. It's kind of a bad time to pull with the creep wave. They needed that creep wave in front of the tower. And about here in front of the tower, not back on the tower. Because of that, we have seen now that the Dire was able to dive past the tower and get that tier 1 gone. So first tier 1 tower down for the game. And Chen goes back to his normal job of farming. Yellow as well as Shadow Shaman coming in. Shadow Shaman's already dropped down these own wards. I lied before when I said there was the first tower going down. The first one was actually in the middle lane. Damn, you gotta love that Ether Shock. Shadow Shaman's claimed off that mid-tier 1 tower. As well as now just claiming a life in his own jungle. Surprised Mirana hasn't got that poor man shield up. Just decides, you know what, screw it. I want to get Wraith Bands instead. I think that's a direction that Yellow wants to go. So we see Pusher. I want to go mid. I want to push mid. Everybody come mid. Shadow Shaman's about to have wars in about 15 seconds. That's going to cause a little bit of a problem for him.
Regeneration.
And even now, Tana's just like, I don't want to go there, man. I want to go a loop-de-loop around the bottom lane. That's where I want to go. Once he has that medallion of courage flowing out to him. Oh, well, after he actually buys all the items too. Small detail. The orb on the top lane again. It's just Mania trying to harass. Queen of Pain hanging around on the rear. Taku, I think he's half thinking about baiting that out. He does the wise thing and doesn't do so. There's the Queen of Pain already with a bottle. 2 null talismans. That's 500 gold as well. What she did bought just flying out to her. I'm seeing boots. I'm seeing magic wands. Boots looks like it's for her. She only spent 500, so the boots will be for Lacoste. And possibly the completed wand. Orb flies down. Spots out the Shadow Shaman who just TP'd in. Silence from Puck wants to ensure that Taku can't get that stun. Mania does turn into a bit of a chicken. Gets arrowed as well. And then a simple ether shock here for Shadow Shaman. Gets the kill, so 3 to 4. Shadow Shaman being really one of these heroes that everybody seems to be picking up over the last couple of weeks for Dota 2. For people wondering where Melk is, he's a splitter man. He decided not to play for his team. Instead, they're actually trialing 2 guys. One's called VVV, one's called Not a Hacks. So Melk was missing. And now the wards all around the tower. Should easily destroy down this tier 1. Maybe take care of the creep wave. It's going to be a little bit more troublesome if VVV stays around. TV support's going to come in. And those wards are being picked off right now. New creep wave, Mania's going to help out. Protect the tier 1 tower at all costs. And those wards worth a fair amount of money. Not to mention, they didn't get the tower. So that's a set of wards for a little bit of damage. Well, not really a little bit. It's actually a fair chunk off. Yellow trying to surge himself through. Shadow Shaman hanging around. Lacoste on the back of a haste rune. Taku wants to try and go this. We'll need a little bit of support. God turn Lacoste into a chicken. First, he's going to get shackled. The courier flying in, trying to transfer some items. Queen of Pain goes down. Very, very smart decision to put the shield on the courier. It's a lot of money on that courier, in fact. Queen of Pain just getting caught out in the wrong position. In the meantime, Pusher wants to push out this bottom lane. And the pun was intended.
Radiant's top tower
And the
is
top
under
lane's also being done at the same time. Bit of smoke and mirrors. No focus fire from Windrun, so she's not going to bring it down nice and fast. Instead, just do it the old-fashioned way. Have it on the power shop. TP coming to the rear tower, so Taku will look for a long-range arrow. Not going to come, though. Not with Shadow Shaman TPing in towards the front lines. So now Taku in a good position for an arrow. Mania already used his orb, so now be the best time to initiate. Puck drops down his ultimate. Mania is caught in place. Arrow goes, and it's actually the vacuum from Yellow, which actually half screwed up. It half screwed up Taku's arrow. I think Taku's arrow was a little bit too far east anyway. But Puck does go down. And we see more kills coming out for the Shadow Shaman. Wards are back up now. Should save them. Don't just hurl them down at this point. They can kill off this tower without having to use them. Sucking the Windrunner back in. Turns into a chicken. And Shadow Shaman gets that kill again. More support coming in. Lacoste. Gotta be careful, that big ultimate's up. Scream's gonna go first. Darkseer taking up a lot of damage. Tower goes down. CM gets the last hit. So a simple vacuum. Darkseer uses the remainder of his mana. And now we'll run all the way back to the main base. Perseverance for Anti-Mage. On his way to completing up that Battle Fury by 15 minutes at this rate. It's helping out. They're taking out so many tier 1 towers. So 2 of them already gone for the price of 1 and almost 2. Another one on top is almost dead. So now Pusher goes back inside the neutrals. Sorry, everybody in the IRC, like, there's been this debate going on all day. The servers are working, the servers are not working, the stream is fine, the stream is not. It's just getting to the point where there is nothing I can do. The stream is actually working fine on my side here. And this is in Europe, in Berlin. So if you are lagging, just try the different settings.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
All the different resolutions. Middle lane. Manny's already used that orb, so it's going to be a little bit more careful. 6 seconds. So it's just to push out that lane so they can damage down the tier 1 tower. And what they're not going to be ready for is Shadow Shaman to actually drop down a beautiful ward trap. Mania facious for the moment, but he will go down. Ravage might save him. No, it won't, but it will do a lot of damage to Yellow, and then the power shot through the rear. Queen of Pain's come in for the fight. 2 for 2 trade. Taku is not stuck. It looked like he was stuck for a moment. Ether Shock is also back up. Turning VVV into a chicken. Sending him back past where the tier 1 tower used to be, so Taku should have no fear of going up towards that high ground and pursuing those people. Heroes. Lacoste runs through, picks up an Invis rune. You'll be happy with that. Shadow Shaman will not. Once again, good wards coming out from Shadow Shaman. Having an upside. 4-star thing in. Turns him into a chicken. Starfall. Back into Shackle. Mystic charges. They need to finish him. They've wasted so much on this. Gush will go. VVV is here. Taku. Hell and Arrow, man. Not going to happen. Pusher is now in as well. So Taku forced to fall back from the middle lane. Arrow will still have a bit of a fish. Down towards Roshan. Doesn't see anybody. Windrunner very, very lucky to get out of that. Saved by the magic wand charges. Anti-Mage in the meantime. Not my predicted 15 minutes Battle Fury. Instead, just a little bit more delayed. Still needs to farm for another 1,100 gold before he can get to that. Let's check out how our gold grab is actually looking. So obviously in favor of the Dire with those early kills going their way. And then the Radiant slowly pulling it back and now leading the way with 9-6. That's giving them almost a 2,000 gold advantage. Taking out every single tier 1 tower bar at the bottom has actually helped. Well, we've just lost Shadow Shaman. So GDT just pausing off the game. The Shadow Shaman is running back from that middle lane. Not a hero you can do without, especially considering the amount of farm. 6 for 0 as well, 65 for 10. Sharing the amount of farm with Lacoste, but Lacoste has 1 kill and 1 death, which is not what he really wants. But at least he's managed to buy up Treads. We've got Nulls. And you can also see Treads on the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain is one of these heroes that does like to prefer to use BTs instead of actually going those Treads. Just the early boots for movement speed. Doesn't really need the extra attack speed from that. You can get that from other items. And then you look for the Scythe of Vice and that kind of jazz. Now reconnection back into the game. We have him back. Middle tower just getting wiped out. Shadow Shaman already with that 4-star he had before. Plus the extra 1,000 gold he's got on top of it, which is looking impressive. Just keeps that Ether Shock, damage down the creep wave, and then just finish him off with the Ether Shock. VVV doesn't want to get too close towards that creep. Well, it's worth money. It also has that the iron shell around it, which damages all enemy units. Can latch it onto anything. Yourself, your allied heroes, a creep, the enemy heroes. Choice is yours. So 9-6. Anti-Mage, 2,100 gold now. There's 26 is the magic number for the Battle Fury, at which point he'll just jump between the neutral camps. Middle lane's going to be brought down. It's a very, very decent creep wave going through there. Arrow will fly in, hit pusher from the rear. It's a long-range arrow from Taku. And now the TP down towards the bottom lane. They want to stop. The ward's already up. The tower's gone. Fortification will buy them time, but that tower is gone. Ravage pops. Yellow is caught, but he'll just surge himself away. The Wars need to focus on the tower and not the hero. It's focusing on the hero, though. They want it. Anti-Mage comes through. Shadow Shaman gets the last hit. And it's almost enough for the Windrunner. The AM ulti in combination with the wards as well. I think it was a normal attack there from Shadow Shaman. Chen coming in from the side. Holding Anti-Mage in place with the troll. Double trap, but then the blink. Pusher had to know he was doomed. Mania is there. The Mania will be forced to drop down his ultimate in a defensive way. He can't. He's got a phase. He might be able to orb, but no, he can't. It was still on cooldown for just a little bit too long. Taku throwing a very, very random arrow into a creep. There's too much damage coming out from GDT and just some interesting decisions to try and flank, of all things. They had no support from the front lines. Battle Fury is done for way too sexy with those kills. Looks like he's also going to go for a Vanguard. Already with the stout shield up. Had that before just to help him out. Possible. He won't go poor man shield. So Anti-Mage is looking to be set in for late game. Already had a good start. Doesn't want to lose it. Just keep that push going. Try and control the dire neutrals. Way too sexy. Might get shackle shotted up right now. In fact, oh, it doesn't latch him. There was nothing behind him. He moved a little bit too far forward, so it didn't actually hit. Shadow Shaman now buying up a Blink Dagger they can initiate on whoever they want to. And Four Staff's going to be the first thing. Ward Trap missing, the Four Staff helping out from VVV. It's a little bit of harassment, and the Ward's in a bad position. Can't really do any form of damage, and Queen of Pain running towards the top lane in an invis room. Checking out for Shadow Shaman, who blinked himself away a little bit faster. Some pretty decent mana regen. That's without the bottle charges. I love how they're calling it a push book. Some Hon players in the GDT side, obviously. The Four Staff. And now the wards are being farmed before they run out. Make the most of all that kind of gold. And push towards the tier 1 tower. Shem with his normal 3 creeps. Keep them alive as long as he can. And the tier 1 tower is very low life. So Taco in the meantime heading towards that bottom lane. Looks to be looking for a BKB, either that or a Deso. Which is surprising, that's a very defensive Mirana. There goes that tier 1 tower. There's a little bit of extra bark to her bite at the moment with that Mithril Hammer. And it looks like Problem are not going to stop there. They want to head towards the tier 2 tower. The same thing has been said for GDT as well as the mid tower. Way too sexy. Just pushing that out. Will destroy off this creep wave pretty fast. So the tier 2 tower. Fortification will slow them down off a little. And now mid tower is also being harassed. Anti-Mage will head down. And Problem are going to call their bluff. So the tower goes down the bottom lane. But they've got to defend their own racks. Tier 3 tower losing a third of its HP. Well worth that push. Arrow! Beautiful 1 Starfall or Blink. Starfall, 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 Starfall. There you go. What? Chen pulled him out. Realizing he's in trouble. There you go, you can see it, the Holy Persuasion. Test of Faith isn't leveled. 2 on Penitence. Just pulling that hero back.